affects nearly 20% of new mothers nationwide, along with 1 in 4 women in Nebraska.
It can turn deadly when left untreated, but data shows many women never speak up. KETV News Watch 7's Maddie Augustine joins us with a mother's urgent message. Maddie.
While 25% of women in Nebraska experience these disorders, experts say only 1 in 8 women seek help. And as one Omaha mother recounts, she denied the truth until it was almost too late. A typical night in the Barnett household.
I'll take
Games and family time after homework. But 9 years ago, if you asked Shannon Barnett if it's a life she could picture, she would say no.
I had days where I didn't ever think it was possible that we were going to ever get here.
Shortly after the birth of Barnett's second daughter,
I was completely beside myself. Here I had gone from a baby that never cried and to a baby that cried 12, 13, 14 hours a day. I felt like, what am I doing as a mom, that I'm failing her so much?
It's a mind game Barnett didn't know at the time was growing into something serious.
I just really started to get in my head of, I'm not meant to be a mom of 2. Maybe I was better with just 1, or maybe they're all better without me.
It would be months before she acknowledged what she was experiencing was perinatal mood and anxiety disorders, or postpartum depression, a condition that can cause a myriad of symptoms, including a depressed mood, excessive worry, change in appetite, sleep patterns, and interest in daily activities throughout the entire first year postpartum.
We need to make sure that we're making all women aware of the possibility of experiencing it.
It's a condition University of Nebraska Medical Center nurse practitioner and perinatal treatment specialist Lee Cook says can worsen with time when left untreated.
We worry about the severity increasing to the point where a woman may need to be hospitalized, or we worry about suicide.
While rare, Barnett says that's exactly what happened to her.
I would have thoughts coming to an intersection of, oh, I hope this is it. Like, if this could just be the way out of it, or, if it was just God's will that I not come home today, that would be okay for everybody.
She says she lived in denial and stayed silent out of fear.
I was scared to tell anybody because I thought they're going to take my family away, or they're going to take me away from my family.
And embarrassment.
I hated who I had become. I was so angry and so bitter that I just couldn't love my baby.
What Barnett says she didn't know at the time, she was not alone in her feelings. Cook says 1 in 4 women in Nebraska will experience PMADS, but it doesn't just affect the mother.
It was going to affect an entire family, likely. The mother can often be the main person keeping that family together and going.
An effect the Barnetts felt fully.
It absolutely destroyed just about everything.
Destruction that Cook says they're trying to avoid.
It's never going to be 100% joyful, but if they can get back to enjoying the things that they dreamed about having at one time, then that's the goal that we have as well.
One of the first steps, admitting help is needed. Something Barnett says didn't happen until nearly 8 months later.
My mom came to me and said, essentially, you're not yourself and you haven't been for a really long time.
Cook says with persistence and a strong support system,
there is help and it can get better. This does not have to be a long-term thing.
In Barnett's case, that support coming from a neighbor just willing to listen and a family not willing to give up on her.
Their patience and not giving up on me really matters, because I don't think I'd be here today.
Barnett now encourages women to seek help sooner and helps them do so through her role as a postpartum doula.
It's not a one-size-fits-all, and depending on your scenario, there are different ways to get better.
Grateful she never quit fighting.
I love my kids and I love my husband, and it feels so good to be on the other side of this.
Both Barnett and Cook want every mother and father to know they're not alone in their postpartum journey and there is help. We've linked numerous resources for anyone struggling with their postpartum journey in this story at KETV.com. Maddie Augustine, KETV News Watch 7.